Hi guys, it's Kamau again. Welcome back to my channel. If you're just joining me for the very first time, welcome and please subscribe. This is part 10 in our game This or That, where I run down 12 pairs of words and I tell you which of each pair I prefer and why. And I would encourage you to tell me in the comments which you prefer and why. So the first pair for this round, adulthood or childhood, which do you prefer? I'm going with adulthood. I had a wonderful childhood, a very innocent and happy and magical childhood. I grew up in Red Hills in St. Andrew, Jamaica. Not too far from town, but still country. And so we had a wonderful time running up and down. We did not have any idea that we were poor. I mean, we knew that we weren't rich, but we had what we had and we made use of it. Very big extended family, several beds to our room. All the siblings and cousins would sleep, in the same bed, and we were perfectly happy. Kitchen outside, bathroom outside, latrine outside. Perfectly happy childhood. However, I still would go with adulthood. I would not exchange this maturity, this level-headedness, the fact that I have produced children of my own, raised them, founded a school, published books. I would not give those things up, and those things came as a result of being an adult. So as great as my childhood was, and as much as I would love to be able to go back and experience some of that again, and I have tons of pictures of nostalgic pictures that I get from the internet of things that we used back then and games we played, and so I have many pictures and put them up as inspiration for when I'm writing my books. But still, I prefer adulthood, falling in love, being in love, and that whole experience. I wouldn't trade that. Number 2, furniture, modern or antique. I'm going with modern. The antique furniture tend to be bulky from my knowledge of antique furniture, and I prefer the modern because it's more, you see, for me, furniture must not just have form but function. So it must be elegant, sleek, beautiful, yes, but have function. And I find that the antique furniture, they're just cumbersome. They're cumbersome and I don't like that. So I'm going with the modern furnishing. Retro or futuristic. If you know me, you know I'm stuck in the 1970s. I wish to God there was a bus that could take me back to 1970. No, listen, I was born in 1975, so it's not like I was an adult in the 1970s. But for some reason, I'm just drawn to that era. I have a whole YouTube channel that's dedicated to the 1970s. I'm gonna put the links in the description. But that is where I am just going to explore my 70s mania on that YouTube channel. So if you're like-minded, please like and subscribe to that YouTube channel where we're going to have a 70s party on that channel. I just like the whole aura of the 70s, the clothes, the style, the slang, everything about the 70s. The futuristic, usually when I see anything futuristic, it tends to be very technological and bland. It's almost like it's soulless, and I don't like that. Of course, I can create my own futuristic designs, but I'm more retro. I'm a very nostalgic person, very sentimental person, so I'm going with the retro. Number 4, you're out with friends. Are you sponging or treating? Given those two options, I would say I'm treating, but I really don't want anybody to be sponging off me either. I don't like to sponge, and I don't like people sponging on me. So how about we each bring our own and we share if need be. I prefer that kind of arrangement more than you're the designated sponger, I'm the designated treater. I don't like that. Number 5, lavish or cheap. I'm not a cheapskate by any definition. I am not cheap. I prefer quality over quantity. I will save up for a long time to buy the quality stuff. And I will buy one single quality stuff than 10 mediocre things, right? So my emphasis is on quality. No, I'm not going to buy a brand name thing just for the sake of the brand. No, the quality must be the driving factor there. Quality. I will spend any money for quality. Next question. It's New Year's Eve. Are you drunk or sober? I am most definitely sober. I've never been drunk, never want to be drunk any time in my life. I never want to lose control of my faculties. If I'm going to enjoy myself, I want to be aware that I'm enjoying myself. I want to remember that I enjoyed myself. Never been drunk. I probably drink alcoholic, maybe a little wine once a year, once every 2 or 3 years or so. Definitely not a drinker. A little red wine once a year. So, I'm on a natural high. You see, there certain thoughts, certain people, certain music put me on a natural high. I don't need alcohol or ganja or anything. I'm on a natural high just by thinking about certain things and certain people and certain music. I don't need any of those stuff. Next question. Daughters or sons, which do you prefer? No, my children, especially when they were younger, used to pester me. Who is your favorite? And I'm sure some of your parents go through the same thing. Who is your favorite? Who do you prefer? Who is more like you? And I, of course, always try to be diplomatic and say, come on, I can't choose. I love you all the same, you know. I secretly have my favorite, but I'm never going to divulge. In terms of sons as opposed to daughters, I don't know, because I have 2 sons, 2 daughters, and the 2 sons are very different, the 2 daughters are very different to each other. So one might be outgoing, the other is more reserved, one very friendly with, you have lots of friends, the other might have 1 or 2 or at some points none. One more bookie, one more, I don't know, two completely different daughters, 2 completely different sons. So I really cannot choose. I really do love all my children. Some are more intellectual, some are more into sports, some are more into fashion, some not into fashion. I do know though, when it comes to if they are ill, the daughters deal with it much better than the sons. The sons are on the verge of death when they have a cold, when they get a cut, any little thing happen to them. That I can tell you that major difference between the sons and the daughters. Striking difference there. Number 8, the one who you love or the one who loves you. Who are you marrying? Do you know the song Grandpa's Advice by the Mighty Sparrow? The Mighty Sparrow did a song way back. I think it was in the 80s, or probably even maybe before that, actually. But that's when I became familiar with it, right? Grandpa's Advice. And he went to his grandpa, and grandpa, who should I marry? And grandpa was saying, the one that you love, don't marry to her. Don't marry her. Never marry the one that you love. The one who loves you, she will make you happy, marry that one. So I guess I'm posing the question now to myself. Who will you go with? The one who you love or the one who loves you? Clearly, you would prefer if it were mutual, right? But it's hardly ever possible for you to be in love with someone and they're equally in love with you. That hardly happens. Usually one is much more invested than the other. I don't know. What would I go with? I think I would more go with the one that I love. Because, I can't fake it. I can't be with somebody who I don't love. I know that for sure. And I'm thinking if I love the person, the other person should have at least some affection. It can't just be you're not into me at all. I will more stay to the side and love you than to force that love onto you, knowing that you're not interested. So definitely would prefer mutual, but given the choice, I would go with the one that I love and who I can pour that love and affection into and try to persuade. I can be very persuasive. Try to persuade them. And, I love very passionately. I love very hard. And many times I'm approached by men and I say to them, listen, you're not going to be able to handle my love. I love hard. I come heavy. And they will say, oh, please, I can handle it. And then they take for the hills. They can't cope with my love, okay? So, we'll see how that goes. Next question. Making love. Do you make love in the bedroom only or elsewhere? Which do you prefer? I'm going with elsewhere. I mean, it's so exciting, Of course, you make love in the bedroom and other places in the house, but the elsewhere, I've made love at the beach, in a vehicle, of course, in a tree. When I was much younger, I'm not as agile anymore, but it's really exciting to, go out of the normal confines of the house. So I'm going with elsewhere. I love that kind of exciting stuff. And for those, if you're watching and you're the one who I made love to in the tree, don't say a word. Don't say a word. Number 10, fame or obscurity. Which would you prefer? I'm going with fame. One of my favorite theme songs, Remember My Name, the theme song for Fame. When I was growing up, I used to pelt out that song, blast out that song, right? I'm gonna live forever, I'm gonna learn how to fly, blah, blah, blah. So I really do feel like I'm here to make an impact on the world, and I have a message and I have a vision. And so naturally you would want to share that with as many persons as possible. So with that comes fame. I can handle that. I can handle the fame. I don't have any skeletons in the closet for anybody to dig up and where the fame is going to be more of a nuisance. So with my mission, with the vision I have, I think fame is a natural consequence, and I am prepared for that. Nonetheless, I am reserved, I'm introverted. I could handle obscurity as well if I was not on this mission. I could very well handle obscurity, no problem. Number 11, do you post your mate on social media or not? I'm all for it. However, it depends on the other person. So you would want to find out, get permission, find out what the other person says. And if they don't agree, then, I would respect that, because they might, whatever reason they would have, I would respect that. But I love to show off. I love to show off, you know. Um, if I am able to, I will show off. Number 12, quickie or full session. I'm going with the full session. I think most women would. I mean, you don't mind the quickie, but you want to have that time. You want to be able to set aside that time. You want to be able to explore that in leisure, at leisure. And you want to be able to set the ambience, have the music, have the whole vibes, and also be able to, in the afterglow, have pillow talk, which is my absolutely favorite pastime. And you can't do that when you're rushing, right? So I'm going with the full session, and I think most women would too. Let me run down the list so that you can make your choices. So it's adulthood or childhood, furniture, modern or antique, retro or futuristic, you're out with friends, are you sponging or treating, lavish or cheap, it's New Year's Eve, are you drunk or sober, daughters or sons, who will you marry, the one that you love or the one who loves you, bedroom or elsewhere, fame or obscurity, post your mate or not post your mate on social media, quickie or full session. Let me know what your thoughts are and why you make those choices. If you have not subscribed, now is the time to do so. Look out for part 11, and I'll see you